Okay, so good evening, everybody, and thank you for being here. So today we have Padma Shri with us, who has two children. Both have done their 10th through NIOS. So being NIOS being a popular subject in the group. So yeah, don't mind my video being off. My son is playing with the camera. Yeah. So NIOS being the most popular and debated topic, I thought, yeah, let's talk to someone who's experienced in this already. Uh, so to be clear to all our audience, Padma Shri here is not an unschooler, she's an homeschooler. Yes?
Yes, I'm a homeschooler.
Can you just just give a brief introduction about yourself, homeschooling journey? So then
Yes, I have two boys, Vedant and Siddhant, who are the older one is doing his graduation BCom with company secretary course now, and my younger one is doing his second PU. Both were homeschooled up to 10th standard. They both did their IGCSE course, but the exam point of view, they did write NIOS because IGCSE certifications had its own pros and cons and was difficult to get back to the mainstream in the state board. So that's the reason we opted for NIOS. From fifth standard onwards, they were homeschooled, and it was quite a journey for us, a very memorable one. Suma, you want me to continue with the same thing, or you will be asking me questions and I
I
can.
will just put a few questions, and then if there is something that I left out, you can add in your points.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. So I understand that you've been homeschooling them from fifth standard.
Yes, from fifth grade onwards.
Okay. So why, would you like to say why did you change to homeschooling from regular school?
I was against the system. I did change a couple of schools. Initially, they were doing their CBSE board. Then I found it was just a flock of sheep, and making an identity for themselves among so many people was a lot political in the classroom when it comes to teachers. So that's the reason I chose to change the school, and I did go to IGCSE school, and it was no different than any other school. It's just that I was paying more fees there. I was paying close to 3.5 lakhs per kid for 1 year. So I felt a pinch in my pocket for the kind of quality education they were getting in the school. So that's the reason I decided to homeschool them. I did my research for about 6 months. I quit my job. I was an assistant professor teaching the MBA students. So I quit my job, did my research for about 6 months, and then I should say one thing: IGCSE syllabus did motivate me to homeschool them. So it was not difficult to homeschool the children with IGCSE syllabus. But I felt we would be lost somewhere, and that's the reason I opted for Olsey Hall, Oxford for a year or two for my children, so that we don't lose track and someone is monitoring us. So that's the reason we went with IGCSE Wolsey Hall for a couple of years. Just to tell you all, my older one, Vedant, did write his IGCSE exam as well. He did not like maths actually, and IGCSE maths was quite tough. So he fell short by few marks, and that is where I started exploring NIOS because I didn't want to waste one whole year for him because he fell short of few marks. I went on to the extent of exploring NIOS, and we gave on-demand examination. I had his credits transferred from the Cambridge University to the NIOS board. Probably I'm the only one who's done this from Cambridge to NIOS. I did explore that path, and within 15 days, he had to appear for NIOS exam, and he fared pretty well, and his year was not wasted. So that's the reason we moved to NIOS for the second one. We did not go for Cambridge.
Okay, so I will just for those who are here only for the NIS reason, we'll just complete the NIS part, and then we'll come back to how you prepared your children with the Cambridge curriculum and your part of homeschooling journey.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
so those who are here for sorry again. Yes, so those who are here for NIS. So how difficult or how easy was the whole whole exam giving part, the registration part, and the whole.
Suma, you're not clear actually.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir. I was just asking how difficult or how easy was it to get into NIOS, the whole process of examination and the result?
See, NIOS enrolling your kids is very easy. It's everything is online. However remote you are, you just need to access it online. It is not at all difficult. You don't need to go to any centers or anything. Everything is done online. You just need to choose a few study centers which are closer to you. And during January or February, they do have contact programs through NIOS. And this is the time you need to send your children for the contact programs to that particular study center. It helps them a lot. The whole year the children will be studying on their own or with the help of someone, but during this contact program, the teachers in that particular study center guide you for assessments, practicals, and that is a lot easier if you attend these contact programs in the study centers. So only those things are online, offline, and the rest all are online. It is pretty easier to even change the study centers if you're not comfortable with one. So there is also an option of on-demand examination. If you're not able to go to NIOS during the time that they allot, you can choose for on-demand examination and then book your slots during that particular month. NIOS opens slots during a particular period in a month. During that time, you need to book your slot and then go and write the exam in the regional center.
Okay, so I understand that during January or February, they have the contact program.
Yes, they do have contact programs in study centers.
So how important is the selecting study center part of it and going to the study center and attending these sessions and all?
See, there are a few study centers which are really helpful. For example, I chose DPS for my younger one as a study center, DPS South, but I was not very happy with the kind of support system they were offering. In fact, the teachers did not have any study material or any question papers or anything. They would take textbooks from the children and then teach the children during that contact program. And that's the reason I have opted for a change in study center, and I went with Deccan International School, Bangalore. And Deccan International School offered an excellent contact program. The teacher was in touch. They helped us a lot with assignments, and it was a cakewalk for us with the Deccan International School.
So any I don't know, how do we choose a study center? Any, I don't know, tips?
There are a list of study centers that NIOS offers. It is mentioned on their website. Whichever is closer to you, you can opt for 3 study centers, and not to worry, you can always change the study center if you're not happy with one.
Okay. So what is this? What is the part of the study center that actually happens? Like, other than you going and writing the exams there, what else part do they play?
Study centers offer you assignments help, and they clarify your doubts. They guide you on what pattern the question paper is and how you need to study. And it's mainly for the assignments, practicals, and the clarifications.
Okay. So point number 1 is to make sure that you've chosen a good study center. And make sure, and it's also easy to change the study center if you're not satisfied with it.
Yes, it's just a nominal amount of 400 or 500 rupees that you need to pay online itself, and then change your study center. Then once you change it, you do get an acknowledgement from the NIOS that you have changed, we have approved your change, and then you go and approach that particular school telling them that you have changed the study center and the child will be enrolling from their particular school.
Okay, so once the study center, how many days does this like happen, like weekend classes or weekday classes or something like that?
There are some schools which have it during weekends, and there are some schools which have it during weekdays. It's a matter of 15 days. That's it.
Okay, so it's not like they complete, like cover the whole syllabus.
They do not cover the whole syllabus because they do not have time in the entire 15 days to cover the entire syllabus. So they do cover some important stuff and they mainly keep it for clarifications.
Okay, so they do declare these dates before so that the child can go there and attend.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, so coming, okay, now, so now you have enrolled into NIS and you've given your exams, and then now coming to the results part. So how easy is like getting the results and then things like that? Mhm.
My eldest son wrote his NIOS on demand, and within a month's time, we did get the result. He wrote sometime in July, and by August midweek, we did have our result. And August end, we did get our certificates as well. And for my younger one, since thanks to COVID, he did not write the exams. Everything was assignment based, and everything was assignment based, and they just gave pass marks to all the kids. And the study center did help us a lot. The marks cards go to the study center, and they do call you, and then you can go pick it up from there.
And one more thing, so the student write their exam in a study center. So the people at the study centers are the one who are going to be evaluating the papers.
No,
I guess only for the language the evaluation is done at the study center.
no, it goes to the NIOS itself.
Okay, so it goes to the main head office and there the evaluation happens and the marks are also given from there.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, so now coming to the credibility of NIOS, which is the talk of the town. So how do you, I mean, what are your views on that?
The end of it, we homeschoolers, we don't believe in all these certifications and all those, right? It's just a piece of paper that matters. So for the next level of education, and NIOS has changed its entire perspective in the entire education system. It's no longer that old NIOS what we used to say. Now it is changed and it's acceptable everywhere. You can imagine when I tell you I have transferred the credits from Cambridge to NIOS. So you can imagine the credibility throughout the world.
Hello, ma'am. I have a question. Hello, ma'am. I have a question. So I have two kids. One is 7 years old and one is 4 years old. So what is
1
the...
minute, ma'am. Suma, you want to take the questions now or later?
Can you just wait for some more time? Maybe when we are having a conversation, we will maybe your answers, your questions might be answered.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so once you got the results, now you have to get your son to join to a college. So how is that process?
Yeah, let me tell you about the kind of certificates that you get from NIOS. One is the migration cum TC certificate that you get. One is the provisional certificate and one is the marks card. So these are the three things which are very important for admission to the future course. Whereas when you do it in IGCSE does not offer you the TC. Your child writes as a private candidate and does not get any TC from the school from even where he is appearing. So one good part of NIOS is they do give you the migration cum TC certificate, and TC is very important to put your child in any other course or getting them back to the mainstream. Suppose your child is going to continue with NIOS for the 12th, there is no issue. If you want to put your child back to the system, back to the proper education system, then the TC matters a lot. So NIOS was very helpful, and that's where I moved my younger one back to NIOS.
So I understand they give you TC with migration certificate, marks card, and
Provisional certificate.
Provisional certificate. Now I also know that the NIS also provides these three things even when you write OBC level A, B, and C.
I did not write OBC at all, Suma.
Okay, so yeah. I mean, so I was just telling others, even if you want your child to get into regular school at 4th grade or something, even you can give level A, which is 3rd grade. And then they do give the migration and TC certificate using which you can actually go.
Yes, yes. So if you want to put them back to the system, going through NIOS is better because they give you the TC along with migration.
Okay. So yeah. So how was the next getting into the college process for your older son?
It was like any other college. There was no difference between a homeschooler and any other school going student. It was not like very difficult. It was just that we need to fill the admission forms and they were accepted. In fact, they did not know that the child was homeschooled unless and until we mention it in the recent past.
Okay. So you like any other college, you just went through the same process.
Yes, we went through the same process.
And even the marks was equivalent, like they just took it on percentage basis, like cutoff is 50, 80 means 80, like that.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So there was nothing like, and there was another question when I posted that you will be coming on the Q&A, asking if a child who's written NIS can write CET, like,
Yes, they can write. There are many kids, in fact, who have opted for NIOS and they prepare for their CET because the least importance is given to NIOS and more importance is given to CET. And I have known a couple of kids who have got into medicine, engineering, and all that with NIOS.
So there is no problem with NIOS at all.
There is no problem at all. It's all our mindsets.
And one more question. So some people were asking if NIS is, every government institute have to take NIS. What about this private institute? Are they going to consider NIS in the same level? Was the question.
There are very few government schools that we all put our children into. Like I have put my children back into private colleges, and it is acceptable. There is no problem as such. In fact, in the college that my boys go to, there are a lot of national level players like swimmers, basketball players, and all that. All of them have opted for NIOS and then they have joined college.
Okay, so now let's just pause here for NIOS. Now we know that NIOS is not really that. Okay, coming to how did the preparation? Let's just go back in the preparation for NIOS. How did that happen?
Yeah, see, I believed in self-study for both my boys, and they were. I was focusing on self-study even with IGCSE syllabus. So when they have done IGCSE syllabus on their own, NIOS was very easy for them. It's not that they were having like no difficulty. When they did have difficulty, they did reach out to us, and we did take help of couple of them. But it is not very difficult if your child is able to manage with self-study.
So I understand you did homeschooling, like you did the IGCSE and the curriculum every year. Like fifth grade curriculum you followed, and sixth grade curriculum.
Yes.
So yearly curriculum was followed, and even at 10th grade curriculum was followed.
Yes.
Oh.
NIOS for 10th standard, they just took 1 year's time to prepare for the 10th standard NIOS, secondary NIOS.
Okay, so there are some questions from unschoolers who say, okay, like, they do follow child-led studying or child-led interest-led, they follow the child. But what if the child wants to write NIS? Is it okay? Like, can the child prepare for that 1 year, or should the child prepare for a few years earlier? What would you?
If your child is in par, I think 1 year is more than enough. It's not a very difficult thing for your child to pick up within the span of 1 year. And there are easy subjects like home science, then data entry, then data operations. Then there is a subject in painting, there are languages. So there are many options that you have.
झूला झूल रहे हो ना? मैं लगाती हूँ, आप मेरा हेडफोन्स ला दो.
Yeah. Okay. So now let's just take the question for NIOS. And yeah, anyone who has questions can just.
I think there was this lady called Sunita who raised.
Please go on. Wait a minute, Sunita.
Sunita, are you here?
What you keep doing is not. Please don't do that.
Srilata raised hand.
Yeah, please go ahead with your question.
We'll just take the question from the comment section.
Yeah, Srilata, can you please?
Hi, this is Srilata from Hyderabad. I'm very new to the system and I'm not aware anything about this. I just got it from one of my known groups and I joined. I just want to know something about this because my daughter is in 10th standard with state syllabus in Telangana government and she's appearing 10th in this year. How it can be helpful for her because in future science stream when you want to go to bachelor for science or she want I'm not sure she's going to said she'll go into science stream, so how this would be helpful for her because I'm pretty new to this terminology also. I just joined.
I didn't quite get your question because are you homeschooling your kid right now?
No, nothing. No.
You're not homeschooling.
She's into normal state syllabus.
Okay.
No,
What help do you want?
I'm
to
hearing
learn?
it this only for the first time.
Okay.
No, I want to understand like for the +1 and +2 also, like how can it will be helpful for, how can it will be helpful?
NIOS has senior secondary, and if your child wants to take up CET and other kind of exams, they can opt for NIOS, prepare for NIOS. NIOS in senior secondary also needs very less time to prepare. So there are a few kids who focus more on the entrance exams and less on the mainstream senior secondary. So there are a few kids who do that. So in case you want to focus more on the entrance exams, you can opt for NIOS, get her some coaching for NIOS for a less time and concentrate more on the entrance exams.
I mean to say like she has to continue with her regular study and then this is separate. Or I did not get
NIOS?
actually,
No,
sorry.
no. After
Yeah.
10th, you discontinue from any other school or anything and opt for NIOS senior secondary online. And then she prepares for it from home while she attends other coaching classes. Or there are a few schools or colleges that have NIOS in their system itself while they focus on entrance exams.
Entrance exams of for the coming bachelors or
For the bachelors, yes.
Padma,
for
look,
the batch. So the NIOS.
just a minute. You don't know the basics means we have another video with an NIS coordinator last week, which we did. So you can just go refer that, which talks about the basics of
No, I didn't.
NIOS and what exams you can give and how it works.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
This is an exam like, you're writing like distance education, where your child doesn't go to school and you give your exam. You can give 10th or 12th, whichever.
I think Srilata, you need to get your understanding right on homeschooling and then come back.
Yeah, true. I just joined because I just got it in one of my known groups and
No issues. You, whenever you have doubt, you can connect to us one-on-one after you understand what it is.
Okay, fine. Thank you so much. Sorry for the interruption.
Okay, the session was already done for the basics, so you still can go, or you can still visit very well NIS website, which is very clear and very straightforward for all the information.
What does NIS stands for? National
Institute of Open Schooling.
Okay, fine. Thank you so much.
Alpa Jagyasi. She has an.
Yes, I would like to ask if this meeting is particularly related to 10th and 12th standard, or can I get some knowledge about the OBE standards also?
Alpha OBE, people have no proper knowledge on OBE at all because there are very few schools that have taken up OBE. So this is mostly for the 10th and 12th.
Okay. Thank you.
Right, Suma?
OB is also very straightforward. You also will get all the information about that on NIS also. And to be more clear, you don't have to give your 3rd, 5th or 8th exam to write your 10th. A child can directly give exams. If you want, that is optional, just for you to, make sure you just want to check the credibility. But it's not compulsory. Again, the information is clearly mentioned in the website.
Yeah, I know it's not compulsory, but I have opted for homeschooling for very lower age kids. So I was just thinking of, just in the terms, if in future the kids want to go to the school, they will need a proper certificate and exam, TC and all that. So for that, I was thinking of giving the OBE exam next year.
Yes, yes, you can go ahead and give it. It's very simple. Like she mentioned, the process is the same. They have this student, what is that in January? I forgot the name. Student meeting, parents to,
That program.
yeah, contact program the same way. You select the regionals and the same process for everything.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much.
Anyone else can go on with your question?
Yeah, I just wanted to know, my kid is in grade 2 state board, Mumbai. Plan to actually start homeschooling from the next academic year, but how advisable is to begin homeschooling at this age? And what's the starting line?
What age is your kid, baby?
He is going to be 8 in February and currently in grade 2 state board.
Okay, okay. See, there is nothing called right age or wrong age for homeschooling, as long as you have accepted the system and you are prepared to train your kid from that age onwards. What I did was I just picked up that age related or the grade related books and started training them. And their interest was in Spanish and French. I just picked up some books and they did their courses online through Khan Academy and other stuff. Then I picked up some science and maths books and started training them on that. So there is no particular age as such for homeschooling. It just depends on you.
So what's the starting line? I mean, what would I need to do, to begin?
Like I said, go pick up some books from any bookstall which are age related and standard related and see which area or which subject your kid is more inclined towards or your kid likes it the most.
Okay, because there are a few, I would say small or some small scale businesses which
Mhm.
have now moved into homeschooling, and they're not offering a particular curriculum as such, but
Yeah,
they are getting into some methodology of teaching.
yeah.
They are catering to the homeschooling parents. So wanted to know if it's okay to join something like that as well.
That's also fair enough. What I would suggest is don't stick on to the subjects that you like and enforce it on your child. Expose the child to all the subjects, all the form of arts, all the form of sports, and then try to understand what interests the child in.
Great. So I think I already have like his, intelligence analysis done, and it
Mhm.
has picked up. I can see his top three, which is basically musical or language. That's his top skills. So
Mhm.
maybe I can focus on that and groom him there.
Yeah, there are a lot of free websites like Khan Academy and stuff which are free. So just go and be with them while they are on the system and learning those online.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah, anyone else? Any question? Okay, before someone asks the question, so let's just say, okay, you started homeschooling from fifth grade. So how did that journey start? Like, did you have this hours of studying every day and things like that?
Both my boys are drummers. They have done their intermediate levels in drumming, and my younger one is also doing his djembe, and older one is into guitar. So they were not finding sufficient time when they were going to school. So that helped us to come out of schooling and go into homeschooling. And they both are DJs as well. They have done their course in DJs. So they did find a lot of time for those things. And From fifth grade onwards, we did follow a discipline in our curriculum because, like I said, we are not the people who let our children sleep late or just be by themselves. We wanted certain kind of discipline in our day-to-day life. So we would wake up together and then go for a workout or walk and then come back, and they would start their session by around 9:30, go up to 12:30, and then take a break. Lunch break, and again start back around 2:30, so that they do their languages and activities online while I get some time to relax during that 2:30 to 4 period. And from 4 onwards it was their time, their play time, and they had sufficient time to go out and play and then practice their music.
So did you get them into these online classes, or did you do all the teaching on your own?
Initial first 2 years, we did get into online with Wolsey Hall, Oxford, like I mentioned earlier. But once we know the pattern and the system, and by then they were trained to self-study. So they did self-study and they would reach out to us only when they had doubts.
What was the name you said? OS?
Wolsey, Wolsey, Wolsey Hall. I'll just type it in the chat box for you.
I am sorry, I'm not really aware of this. No.
Yeah.
So that's like in online study. I mean, like online study.
Yeah, for 1 minute, I'm just typing it out.
Yeah. So this is
for IGCSE online.
okay. So
But this is only for tutoring and not for any exam. Again, if you are going through IGCSE and you want your child to do IGCSE exams, then you will have to go and register your child in any other private international school as a private candidate and then pay the exam fees separately apart from Wolsey Hall, Oxford.
you can say this is like tuition classes.
Online tuition classes, probably a support system.
Yeah. So like the first 2 years, they do have all the subjects. So you were taking all the subjects from them.
Yes.
Yes, okay. So after that, there's another question. It says, how can you set kids for self-study? So how did you do that after 2 years?
The books were quite simple and easy. Even NIOS that way is very simple and easy to understand for a child. So I think you just need to let your child study for that particular subject, and then try to ask them questions on what they have studied or what they have learned. Then you get to know whether the self-study process is working on your child, or do they need some help.
Yeah, that's actually an excellent point. So now, so when you started the self-study, so you do get these textbooks from IGCSE, different publishers. So they also come with this teacher's guide. So did you refer the teacher's guide also?
Wolsey Hall, Oxford themselves offer you individual teachers for every student. It's like one-on-one you get with the teachers.
Yeah, no, after that, they also these regular classes. Now, after 7, 8 that you did, they also come with each textbook comes with a teacher's guide so that you can. So, did you guys refer that also?
We didn't make it that complicated at all. It was very simple for us.
Okay, that's nice. So and so I am guessing. So since you guys followed IGCSE for the whole till 10, so NIS exams must have been like cakewalk for you guys.
It was pretty easy, especially the English and those kind of subjects, home science and all. But it can be done by any other student of that particular age group. It is not difficult. It's not that I'm comparing my children because they did IGCSE versus this one. Any child, it is easy to understand. Probably the help that they would need is in math. But even those things, they have given a few recordings. NIOS has published a few recordings. Then you have this, for people who are taking up NIOS, you have this ym.org which the regional director himself was mentioning, that their parents should make use of those kind of recordings and classes, the Swayam website.
Okay, the meeting might end. So anyone who has the question, please join the meeting back again, same link. And one more thing.
Alpha, once you register to NIOS, they do send the textbooks to your residence. So you don't have to worry about the material. They do send the textbooks home. And then there are all these textbooks available on the